Please welcome to emerge Director of Wireless Services for Flash Mobile, Greg Savage.
It's a little cold for California, isn't it? All right, I'm not going to be leading you in any chants. No chanting. I'm not going to be throwing fruits and vegetables in the audience. Just telling you right now, we're just going to stick to the facts. Sound good? You know, back in my hometown of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, they used to throw candy out during the Memorial Day parade until someone got hit in the eye. They don't do that no more. I saw that last Mandarin go out. I think that was the last one that's going to be thrown out into the crowd. It's a special day. All right? All right. You guys ready for some wireless? Let's talk Flash Mobile. How about that? I always like to lead with this slide. It really creates the vision for you. This is the opportunity that you have in your hand. That's really what this slide represents. And I honestly, I don't think everybody really understands the power of what this slide means. I'll just say real quick that a lot of people have been doing this business for a very long time. ACN's been in business for 30 years, right? And there's some people that have been here for 30 years. Some people have been here for 10 or 15. And a lot of business was accomplished with energy, right? I mean, people made an awful lot of money with energy. And that's a limited market. Would you agree? There's only so many states. And there's only, what, 1 meter per household? But it was extremely lucrative, wasn't it? A lot of you can attest to that. I want you to think about the potential of what Flash Mobile could be, because we've got all 50 states. And when you look at the billed annual revenue in the industry, $300 billion, you just need a piece of that to change your life. I mean, a really small piece of that. In fact, what's even more important when you see this slide is there are more phone connections than there are people in the US. So we're not talking 1 meter per household in only so many states. We're talking all 50 states and 4+ devices per household. In fact, phones aren't only in the house, they're on the street. I mean, right? There's a lot of people that don't own a home, but they own a phone. The potential opportunity to change your residual future begins right here with Flash Mobile, and that's really what I'm trying to convey. The opportunity that sits in front of you right now with Flash Mobile as a product that you need to focus on. When you look at the essential concept of this being an essential service, right? Energy is essential. Well, so is wireless, even more essential. You know, I said this a week ago. We did a live presentation in Dallas, and you know, someone said, energy's so essential that even people that go into bankruptcy and lose their home, it's the very last bill they pay before they walk out of that house. The wireless bill is the bill they keep paying as they walk out of that house. They don't stop paying the wireless bill, all right? 95% of American adults own a cell phone. Every time I say it, I have to say, this is ridiculous. Who are these 5%? Where do they live? Is anybody bold enough to raise their hand and say, I'm one of them? Anybody in here doesn't have a cell phone? No, I didn't think so. Probably not, right? So everybody's got a phone. And 89% of the people out there will say they can't live without it. And that's the truth. So the opportunity is huge, and it's as essential as anything we offer here at ACN. When you look at the networks that are out there, there's really 3 primary network providers, meaning these guys self-service, but they also built the networks. Those are the towers, the poles and wires, if you will, where all of the wireless traffic travels off of. Now, there is a ton of carriers, right? There's all kinds of different wireless providers, Cricket, Metro PCS, Virgin, Boost. The list goes on and on and on and on, Flash Mobile being one of them. But all of those providers are traveling off of one of these 3 powerful networks. And there's a negligible difference between each one of them when it comes to coverage, okay? And as far as Flash Mobile is concerned, we're positioned well because we're positioned right smack in the middle, operating on that T-Mobile network, and they're moving up the charts, guys. We are literally sending our traffic across the largest, fastest, most reliable network in the country, and it's just going to continue to grow. T-Mobile is in the news with the largest 5G, most powerful network, and they have what's called spectrum because of their acquisition of Sprint, who, by the way, acquired tons of spectrum because of their acquisition of Nextel years ago, right? And they're the envy of the wireless industry. Why? Well, spectrum just means they have more frequency, more ability to build a larger, more robust pipe to send more traffic through at faster speeds than anybody else. So they are the envy of the industry. Now they got to put that into action as they continue to build, as they move through this transition and acquisition of Sprint. But we are where we should be to give our customers the best, fastest, largest, most reliable network. So we've got the opportunity and we are on the right network, guys. Now, who is Flash Mobile? Well, we're another carrier out there that I think people need to be aware of who we are. And we can show them who we are, right? What you're seeing on this slide is, well, why would they come to us? Everything on this slide is inclusive in all of our rate plans. Unlimited nationwide talk and text, unlimited data, free calling and texting to and within Canada and Mexico. We don't charge extra for it. It's just included. Free international texting, mobile hotspot, no upcharge to have the ability to use your phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot, right? Wi-Fi calling and texting, and of course, the Flash Mobile app, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But this is key. No contracts, no credit checks, means no early termination fees, and no renewals, right? Energy is a big deal, but it's a tough conversation we got to have in 18 or 24 or 36 months, isn't it? Especially with the way energy is going through the roof. You know, I got to sit there and say, you know, that 9-cent rate you got, well, it's moving to $6,438 a kilowatt. But everybody's going up, so it's okay. Please stay with me, right? You've just opened the door for them to shop you, you know. But we'll have to have the conversation because you don't want to go in a rollover, right? It works. It's great, but it's a difficult conversation you never have to have with Flash Mobile. They come over, they like it, it's working, they're paying, they're staying. It just makes sense. And if they stay, you keep getting paid. It is the place to be, guys. Build your business and get a lot of Flash Mobile customers in there if you want to see your residual stick and just continue to grow. Let's talk about the Flash Mobile app, right? If you're a customer in this room, you need to have this app, right? If for nothing else, because you're also an IBO probably, you're out there talking about the service. Show them who we are when they say, who's Flash Mobile? I've never heard of them. Well, look, we even have our own app. It's in the Google Play Store. It's in the iPhones. It's in the App Store for iPhones. It just makes sense. We're real. It makes us more real to them, and they're like, okay, you must be something. You've got an app out there, tracks all my data, tells me how I'm using my phone. I can make payments. I can even validate your device, Mr. Prospect, as I'm sitting in front of them in Starbucks. You know, what kind of phone do you have? Let me just type this number in. Oh, good. Good news. You can keep that phone and come onto our network. Let me show you how, right? It's a great conversation piece. It's definitely a branding piece to let people know who we are and how powerful we can be. So strengthen our credibility with this app. If you don't have it, go to the Google Play Store for Android, go to the App Store for iPhone, search Flash Mobile US app. Make sure you put US in there because there's other options, right? So get the US app and download that app today and start talking about Flash Mobile everywhere you go. All right, now, international roaming. People have asked me when we first launched the product in June of 2021, what about if I travel out of the country, can I use my phone? The answer today is yes. We opened that up middle of last year, early last year. We opened up international roaming to 170 plus countries, right? You got to check to make sure we're working in the country, right? There's some countries we don't support. We don't have the service there, but we do operate in 170 plus countries. And here's the kicker: data and text is included. It's free. They don't pay for it, right? All you need is to add money to what's called the International Roaming Wallet, the IR Wallet, in your portal. Log into your Flash Mobile portal, add money to the IR Wallet so that you can make or receive calls while you're traveling abroad, right? That's what international roaming is. I left the US, I'm overseas, I'm driving through the countryside of France, and I want to use their towers. I need to have money in the wallet to do so, right? So we now have international roaming services. Let's talk about the rate plans real quick. There's 4 primary plans. We do have a talk and text plan for people that just do that. That's a subset of people that need that, and that's what that's there for. But your focus is primarily these 4 plans, right? Let's just take a look at the 75 gig. That is our elite plan. Why is it elite? Because it gives you the most data, and it also gives you taxes and fees included. You don't pay extra for taxes and fees. It's included in that. And I kind of highlight that more than ever now, because if you haven't noticed, maybe you can just Google, taxes are going up everywhere. And by the way, on wireless too. In Texas, they raised significantly last year, right? If you're on any of the other plans, I can't control that, just like another carrier can't. But here, it doesn't impact you. It just makes sense on the elite plan, as low as $35 a line, right? just makes sense. But position your customer or yourself in the plan that makes the most sense for you. What is the high-speed data? We got 4 gigs, 10 gigs. The unlimited is 50 gigs of high speed. The unlimited elite is 75 gigs. A few people asked me today, I don't understand. You say unlimited, what's the 50 gigs? We do offer unlimited data, but not unlimited high speeds. That's a little trick in the industry. They don't give you unlimited high speed. In fact, the other carriers out there now are saying, oh no, we have true unlimited high speed. Read the fine print. Why is it fine print? Because no one reads it. It's very fine, right? Most of us can't see the fine print, right? I know I can't. So here's what it's saying. You know, yeah, you have unlimited high-speed data, but in the fine print it says, you know, during times of network congestion, we can choose to slow your data down. You've given them an option. It's wide open. At any moment, they could slow you down if they choose to, and you can't control it. With us, our Flash Unlimited is unlimited data. The high speed is 50 gigs. We give you 50 gigs of high speed. We're not looking at network congestion saying, boop, we're done. 50 gigs of high speed. The unlimited elite, 75 gigabytes of high speed. I gotta tell you, if you're using more than this, you got a problem. And I'll go as far to say, I think you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Does your mama know what you're doing with that? Because I'm just, like, I got a 22-year-old daughter, and you know, she's using like 20-some gigs, and I think that's way too much. Okay? You must be streaming all kinds of stuff off Wi-Fi. That is more than enough data unless you're trying to power a nuclear power plant, which you should not be doing with your Flash mobile phone. All right? So this is enough data. All right? Pick the sandbox you want to be in, and that's where you build your entire plan. I will call this out. Multi-lines are key in this business. If you're trying to build a business and spread out phones on different accounts because you're trying to maximize points or something, don't do that. They're not getting the best value for the buck. You can get to your points by building multi-lines. Trust me on this one. That's where they're getting the best value for their dollar, right? As you build these plans, the price per line comes down significantly. That's what makes us more competitive than everybody else out there. So please heed that. Now, let's talk about some other benefits to the IBO, right? I tell people when you're out sharing this business, because that's what we do, right? We share this business with other people. You lead with the business in my mind, and you fall back on, hey, help me out if you don't want to do this. I get it. Be my customer. Support me in my business, right? This is a great lead for the business, because when you're sitting with somebody at Starbucks and you're saying, who are you with currently? I'm with Verizon. Really? What do you pay? How much data do you get, right? Do you get your service for free? What do you mean? You mean they don't give you your service for free? No. How do you do that? You talk about this. You see, with my company, if you're doing this with me, all you got to do is go refer 5 accounts. Get 5 accounts, and you get your service for free, right? It just makes sense. Nobody else is doing that. That's a differentiator. That's a great recruiting tool to get people to think about coming over and joining you, right? Now, if you look at this example here, this guy in the middle, he has a family plan with 3 lines. You can see the 5 accounts around him, right? He's got 5 accounts, so he's getting his service for free, but he's got 2 more lines on that account. So all he needs is to go get 10 more accounts. For every 5 accounts, you get another free line of service. So he can get his whole entire account for free, not just his phone line, right? The IBO can do this with the Refer a Friend program, guys. It's a great differentiator for us and another tool for you to start talking to people about our business and what we do. Let me talk about some other highlights with the program, things that we came out with in Q3 and Q4 of 2022. Loyalty rewards. Now, this is a customer-focused program. So obviously, as an IBO, if you're also a customer if you decided to become a Flash Mobile customer, right? So what we're saying here is we're thanking the customer. We're giving back to them, right? Because they became our customer. Every month when they pay their bill, they get 30 loyalty reward points loaded into account that they're auto-enrolled for, right? That they can use those and they build every month 30. They can get more points by playing different games. They have an account that they can log into. They can use those points for value towards discounts at restaurants, shopping, gift cards, tons of ways to save. And it's us just giving back to them, right? Another differentiator for our customer is this loyalty rewards program. Don't overlook this. Share it, talk about it, use it yourself. And those points never expire. And you're not doing anything but just being a customer to get advantage of this, right? So do talk about this and do take advantage of this. Another highlight is we now offer phones. You guys have asked for it, we delivered. We partnered with Quality One. We also have 2 other partners. One of them's here today, Cell Platinum. I saw some people talking to them. We've been working with them for years. Here's the beauty of buying phones through our partners. You know this. You know the phone is compatible, you know the phone is eligible and unlocked, and you're even getting a SIM card ready to go with that phone. It just makes sense. You don't have to worry about all those other potential pitfalls, right? And with our partner here, Quality One, you can get latest and greatest devices, and you can get 0% financing options, right? So this is what puts us onto that competitive playing field with what everybody else is doing out there. Right? They still go get the phone, they get a payment plan that's separate of Flash Mobile, they take that phone, they enroll it with us, right? So now we've given people a way to go do that if they don't want to put the dollars out up front to buy that phone, right? So it just makes sense. And then over here, another big step in the right direction, we now support eSIM enrollments. Not everybody out there does, but this is becoming a wave of the future. All this simply means is no more need for a physical SIM card. How does that help you as an IBO? There's two big things that I call out here. It helps you enroll people from other states. You can't be in front of everybody. You can't be there with them physically, which means, oh man, they don't have a SIM card. I got to either ship it to them, buy it myself, or they can request it during enrollment, and then it shows up 7 to 150 days later with the United States Post Office. And then when they get it, they can go back in and finish their activation. You don't want that delay. You want them to walk away from that computer active in our system using Flash services, right? So with eSIM, we can now do that virtually. We don't need the physical SIM card, and it's iPhones XR and up are eSIM compatible, right? Google Pixel 6 and 7 and select Samsung phones all support eSIM. So the ability to be able to just help someone enroll from afar, at the end of it, they get presented a QR code, they install it on the phone, follow the prompts, and they're active right then and there. Beautiful thing. Another big deal with eSIM, two-line capability. I've talked to several people here today about it, right? The ability to have a business line and a personal line on your phone is huge, especially in our business. When you look at some of our rate plans, I'll talk about the Flash 50 gig for a second. Again, the discounting structure. Do you realize if you have two lines on the Flash 50 gig plan, line 3 and line 4 only cost an extra $750 each a month to have a third line? It just makes sense to get a third phone or another phone line, right? It's that simple. So eSIM is huge. It's going to change our world in so many ways, makes business quicker, expediting the service to our customer, and the ability to do two lines on a phone. It's a big deal. So when you go to enroll with us now, you'll see 3 options to enroll. Because again, they already got the phone, they're bringing it over, and they're saying, I need a SIM card, in which case you wait the 143 days for the United States Post Office to deliver it. Or you say, I have a SIM card because you bought a 6-pack or you gave them the physical SIM card, or I choose eSIM because my phone is compatible, in which case I'll just get a QR code and install it on my phone. Those are the 3 paths that you will have options for when you're going to enroll. And again, I'll call this out. eSIM's a big deal because remember, in September of last year, the iPhone 14 was released. Anybody got an iPhone 14 in the room? Okay, it's a handful of people. That was eSIM only. First phone of its kind in the industry that does not support a physical SIM card. So of course, they didn't give me a heads up, naturally. They just sort of release it, and then I'm scrambling like crazy to get ready to support it. So we launched the ability to do eSIM in December, and people were calling me all month in October and November. I got it, my iPhone 4. So we caught up, we got it. It's a big deal because that phone can only do eSIM, right? And I think that you're going to see more and more of that coming in the future. As I mentioned, other phones, iPhones XR and up do it, Google Pixel 6 and 7, and select Samsung phones. But there's still a need for physical SIM cards because not every phone does eSIM. So we still sell them through the store. You got to access it through your IBO storefront. Go to Flash Mobile. As if you're going to enroll, you'll see a drop down for shop. You'll see buy SIM packs. You can buy them there. I was selling them here today. I might have a few left. So you're going to be lucky if you want to see me afterwards because they sold pretty quickly as they do all the time. And then let's talk training, guys, because this is the most important thing. Like I talked a lot about the program, some of the highlights, the things that we brought to the table to improve this for you guys, the opportunity. But none of that matters if you're not properly trained. With Zoom Energy and Impact, you have required training, accreditation training, right? Kind of a bummer sometimes, but it's a good thing because you ought to know what you're doing, right? Don't just wing it. I don't require training, although I should. If I did, it would be this. Those 3 videos, how to prepare, how to enroll, how to activate. 20 minutes, a little less than 20 minutes in totality. Watch them in that order, and you will be readily equipped to do this and avoid the mistakes that people make when they wing it, right? Very critical training to help you have all the information you need to do this right and look good for you and your customer. And I referenced 2 key documents with these videos, specifically in that first video, how to prepare. It's the activation pre-order checklist and the wireless discovery form. Let's talk about each one of these documents real quick so you understand what's important here. With the pre-order checklist, it's about checking things to make sure this can be a customer. The first step is check compatibility of the phone equipment, right? Will this equipment operate on Flash Mobile? Just the phone itself, it's a paperweight. Will this work on Flash Mobile? Meaning, is the guts inside going to communicate with the T-Mobile network? That's really what it's checking. Does it have the right frequency bands built into this device? So you got to check compatibility. And then check coverage. That's all step 1. Check the coverage where they live. Check it to their street level. You can go to the map, the coverage map on flashmobile.com, put the street level coverage in, and it will tell you where they work and where they live, where they spend most of their time. Make sure they're going to have a good experience. Right? Every carrier has a gap, a hole here and there. There's all kinds of rural places. I was just looking out here in Costa Mesa. Oh my gosh, you see the White-Cap Mountains up there? For those of you traveling in here, I was like, whoa. I mean, I wonder if the coverage is up there. First thing I think of, I wonder if I got coverage up there. I sleep and breathe this. It's like I wanted to go up there if I had time to check. But anyways, check compatibility of the phone equipment, check your coverage. Step 2 on this pre-order checklist is telling you, okay, you've done that. Check eligibility of the phone. Now, if I may, let me explain it this way. Despite the narrative today, we can all agree scientifically that a woman is compatible with a man, right? Yes? With me? Procreation works that way. That's how it works. It never changed. That's compatibility. But is she eligible? Think about it. She could be married to someone else. She may be compatible, but is she eligible? Same thing here. Maybe not, but similar. Is the phone going to work on the network, and it is allowed to work on the network, meaning is it unlocked? That's what eligibility means. Don't get caught in this mistake where people assume my phone's unlocked. This is the worst experience that happens because they tell you, yeah, my phone's unlocked, and then you go and enroll, and you port the number. It comes over nice and smooth. Everything was great. You did everything right except for the unlock piece because then they put the SIM card in the phone, and they go to power it up, and it doesn't power up. Well, their old service is already ported off. They got no service. And you know what happens when someone has no service on their cell phone for even 30 seconds? It's not pretty, is it? I mean, all kinds of stuff's coming out of their skin, beads of sweat and blood, all kinds of things. And you're dying, and you're like trying to call, and you're like, oh no, I can't, I gotta chat. And it's like, it's not good. So you make sure the phone's unlocked. Now here's the best part. This checklist, it's telling you to do this. iPhones, as long as they have software version 13 or greater, you could check right in the device to make sure the phone's unlocked. All right, that's a good thing. You can see it, no SIM restrictions. Androids, we can't tell. They got to go confirm it with their carrier. All right, number 3, porting information. 98%, I like to say that, it's probably 90, but honestly, when people move from carrier to carrier, they keep their phone number. I mean, how many people have had their phone number, the same mobile phone number for the last 15, 20 years, 30 years, 40? You don't change your number unless you're running from the law, right? You keep your number. So everybody's porting for the most part, unless little Johnny, when he's getting his first phone at the age of 2, this is when they're giving phones out to kids, right? That's a new number, right? So porting is important. It's a big part of our industry, and you have to have specific information from the carrier network that they're currently on. Or Flash Mobile can't reach out to that carrier and say, hey, John Smith wants to become our customer. We need that phone number. And if we have the wrong information because you gave us the wrong information, AT&T or Verizon or whoever is going to say, nope, sorry, can't have it. And that delays the process. It's a bad experience. And what is the porting information? Well, we tell you what it is on the document. You need the carrier account number that they're with, the current carrier billing address. A lot of people forget they might have moved 3 times and it's all online and they're thinking, oh yeah, I live here. Well, that's not what's online with AT&T. You got to get that address. And then, of course, the PIN. This is the key, the little transfer PIN, and they make it difficult in the industry. AT&T recently launched a new transfer PIN process. You got to call them and get it, and it expires in 48 hours. They don't want you to leave. They're trying to make it difficult. So if you have the SIM card with you, then call and get the transfer PIN so that you know you're enrolling in that 48-hour window so that that PIN works, right? So porting information is step 3 on our checklist. We tell you what you need and how to go get it, right? You can see how important preparing is. The other 2 steps are simple. Back up your device, always. It's just a tip. And then make sure you know the rate plan you want to be on. This document, the wireless discovery form, is where you write the information down. This is where you write everything down. There's lots of numbers that you have to have. You don't want to fumble through phones when you're going to enroll. Checklist, write the stuff down, the discovery form, sit in front of the computer, you walk away in 5 minutes. It's a seamless experience, and 99% of the time it's perfect, it works great. Be prepared, that's what that's telling you to do. We have other supporting documents that help you understand how to back up your phone if they don't know how to do that, just the main ways that people do it on both Android and Apple. How to unlock your device with the main carriers if they don't know how to go get it unlocked. Wireless number port information, right? Because there's information you need to be able to port your number over. You got to get that information. It's got to be accurate, or we can't go get the number from Verizon, right? So all of this stuff lives on ACN Compass under the product page, just like all of our products, Impact, Zoom. There's a product page. Go to the specific product page. All the training, the videos, the materials, they are all right there. Let's talk compensation, and then I'm done. I know I'm over my time. I think people are probably screaming back there, but here's the deal. I'm going to reveal something for you today. Flash Mobile Points just got better. You know how we've been running with a promotion for a long time? Well, that promotion's over, but the points got better as a standard in our business, okay? Lines 1 and 2 are the same as the promotion, and they're now standard, but lines 3 and up are increased significantly. Just as an example, a 6-line plan formerly in the promotion was 10 points. It's now 14 points, all right? It's a big deal. Guys, there's a lot more points. Now, this is effective February 1st, but retroactive to January 1st. So if you already brought in customers, they're in, they're under. Make sense? Sound good? Commissionable values, 80% on gig plans, 65% on the unlimited plans, and you are getting paid for the life of the customer. If they're paying, you're getting paid. It doesn't go away. It just makes sense to do business with Flash Mobile. So what are some of the benefits? I just mentioned increased point values, up to 14 points per account. Commissionable revenue of $36 to $120 per customer. That's significant in our business. Get 5, get rewarded. That opportunity for you to get your service for free just by getting 5 accounts. What about the IBO and the customer benefits? Well, you can pay as low as $22.50 a month on some of our plans and then earn 30 points of loyalty rewards every month when they pay their bill. So as I close it out, I told you there's 332 million people in the US, and there's more phone connections than there are people. All 50 states are open for business. Almost everyone sees wireless as essential. Nobody's stopping paying that bill. You never have to have that conversation to renew that customer. Imagine those residual possibilities, guys. We have a Flash Mobile Instagram account. If you have Instagram, please go search for this, Flash Mobile US, and I want you to like, follow, and share our Instagram page. I have no idea why that's in a different language there. I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, first time I've seen that. But please go look for that, follow it. I want to see that jump up. Guys, that's all I got today. Thank you for your time.